Hi guys, welcome to the flight today as we are in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, the first flight of after Christmas. Hope you guys had a great Christmas as we're going to be in Iceland today with Iceland Air in the Pmdg 737-800. We're doing a flight from Keflavik down to IXEG airport. We're going to be running in for 08, it's going to be a circle to land approach. It's only a Cat A and B type airport, but we're going to be taking the 737, which is a Cat C. And then we're going to fly visually all the way down into the valley and then make a tight left hand turn, which will bring us straight in for runway 08. So we might get the bank angle warning sounding off when we come in, but either way it should be a good flight. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below. And now we get inside and start the aircraft up ready to leave. So I've already got the battery running on the 737, so we'll go and get the ground power, which is already in. Get the external lights, which are all set and checked, position lights, which are already in, and we'll go get the APU started up now, ready to go. Okay, so we should see the low pressure oil start to pump itself up, which is right there. Pats can go on, isolation valves open, we'll get the APU bleed with the engine bleeds off, window heats 1, 2, 3 and 4, voice recorder can go on. Get the IRS 1 and 2 nav, which should be set. Flap settings, which can be set and checked. Flight recorder, which will be set. Test the stall warnings once about to come over. As we're going for a flight level today of 250, and over in IXEG we have a landing elevation of 8, which will leave for 0. Get the panel lights all lit up now. There's not going to be a lot of light leaving as we get ready to come down, so we're going to get all of our panel lighting now, get that all set up before we leave. We can hear the APU now coming in, so it's going to be a straightforward flight. There is no SID leaving now, it's direct straight to the Romeo Echo, and then from the Romeo Echo we follow that all the way through. I'll get the navigraph up here, I've got it on the iPad, but I'll get the navigraph up here in flight so you guys can also see that as well. So we're going to the FMC, get the positioning for the aircraft, leaving 57 tons today out. So as we leave we've got Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot, if I'm not mistaken. Just double check down for the airport, which is in. So reference airport, which will bang in, go to left GPS, which is there, punch that through, then I'll get the IRSs all aligned. Coming in for Bravo India India Sierra, which is our arrival airport. Go into our departure. For the departure we're leaving out runway 01, there's going to be no SID leaving, we're going to go straight in onto the flight plan. So on from the flight plan today we're going direct to Romeo Echo. Okay. And the Romeo Echo is going to be the NDB that we're going to hit. So just go up onto Navigraph. Romeo Echo, which is the 316, which we can click. Then we've got our initial approach fix, which is Kumux. And then on the arrival we're taking the RNAV Delta for 08. And then we can see Kumux for the transition. So activate that up, very quick, straightforward. Go in and get the perf request, so we can get the weights. We're leaving around 57 tons today. So wait for that to come through. Cost index, it's going to be 47, and flight level 250. Okay, 200, which we'll keep. Cost index is 47. Didn't get the ISOs or anything in. Transition level says 110. Okay, which is going to be set. Cruise winds, once we get up to 200, which is going to be 317 at 17. Okay, on for the takeoff, take takeoff 1, climb 1. One for takeoff, flaps 5, center of gravity 518, 128, 129 and 139. So as we do that, go back onto the perf, make a takeoff number 2, All of our takeoff speeds will be the same. Go overhead now, pump the APU in 1 and 2, get all of our pumps in 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yaw damper can go through, which is checked. Everything else is all in, so we are now ready to go and get the logo on as well. Passenger signs, chimes can all go through, and that is the aircraft pretty much all set up and ready to go. Flight directors can both go on, going for a flight level of 200, so not very high at all, very low. As we leave out, runway heading, it's going to be departing out, it's going to be straight through from the airport, leaving out on 01, which is going to be the 014. Okay, 014, which is checked. V2, which is going to be 139 plus 20 will be 159 as we leave out on the climb, which is also checked. All the throttle can be armed. Auto brake RTO. And that is us now all ready and set to leave. So we'll go in, get the doors all shut. So doors can be closed. Ground services, ground power can be released. Stairs can be gone. So we should see them all now disconnecting. Okay, and that's us all ready and set to leave. So we go back onto our takeoff page, which is checked. TCAS can go to TA, which is also set and checked. And that is us all ready and set to leave. So before takeoff and before push, packs can both go off, which are set. Electric hydraulics 1 and 2 can go in. Go to the door page, get the pushback, chucks are set. Select the tug, going on to a standard left, turn the nose to the left, and we can start that. Before we do, make sure the brake's on, that the chucks were there. Okay, and we'll start her up.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our right. Copy that. Ready for push, tail right. Release parking brake, please.
Okay. So, release the parking brake.
Brakes released. Brakes released, here we go.
Okay, so we go for engine number 2 now. Ground is on, start valve's open. N2 is increasing, all pressure temps will come to life, 25% will inject fuel. Number 2 will then come to life as well. Okay, 25%, number 2 now coming through. EGT is now increasing. Okay, nice clean start now for engine number 2. Get the QNHs for the airport as well. So get the information, weather, leaving out 350 18 knots, QNH is 993.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please.
Okay, parking brake is now set. 993 for the QNH. Okay, which is checked. Go for engine number 1, ground, start valve will open.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
See you soon, bye bye. Engine anti-ice will be on when we do take off, so we're using engine anti-ice. It's -5 right now currently, as we can see. 20%, 25 will inject fuel. Okay, there's 25, engine number 1 now coming in. So it should be a very enlightening circle to land approach. It's going to be very tight, so there's not going to be much room for error. Okay, EGT now increasing for engine number 1. Once that's set, hydraulics come in. We'll then get the flaps and everything all set, ready to go. 200, which is set and checked. As we're going to leave out directly, it's straight ahead off of the runway. Once we leave out 01, which is right behind us, over on plan. So it's literally coming straight out. So we should get LNAV. That shouldn't be a problem. So engine number 1 now coming clean, Gen 1 and 2, which is switched over and checked. Go to Gen 1, through on the bats. Probe heats can go on, engine anti-ice which is going on. Packs are set to auto, isolation valve to auto. Bleeds with APU bleed can go off. APU is now turned off and engine start switches are continuous. So that is us now all set. Brakes are RTO, which are also checked. Chucks are off. Parking brake, which is also set. And tug has now left. So we're going to come out, we'll hit down onto Charlie 3 on the taxi. And then from Charlie 3, we'll take a left-hand turn to a right, follow it down Echo, come all the way down to the end for 01. So it should be a nice departure. We're nice and light, so we can get some nice manoeuvrability on that left-hand turn into the airport. So flaps 5 can now go down. Centre of gravity when we leave 533. Flaps 5 will give you a faster spin on the trim. So it's about 533, which is about there and checked. So that is everything all set up for us to leave now. We are ready to start our taxi. So that all said and done, we can now release the parking brake. LNAV should fire in, as we are leaving on a straight line. I think it's roughly around between 3 to 5 degrees on left or right of centre line. The LNAV won't engage. So after 400 feet that will come in and we are all set to go. Checking on for our restrictions, which isn't really going to be anything anyway. We can hold VNAV coming all the way through too. So get our taxi in and get ready to go. So parking brake released. And we'll power it up to the runway. So we're going to do a left to right. Taxi lights can now come on, and return lights can come on as well, which are checked. As we come down to the end, we're literally going to make a left to right hand turn. I'll take us along Kilo for the Kilo 2. Then we're going to follow it all the way down to the end and then make that right hand turn to join in for Echo. So -5, leaving engine anti-ice on. Take that into consideration on the descent. There's a higher N1 limit on the idle. Then once we get down to the end of Kilo 2, we then make a right hand turn and then follow that down past Echo 321 and then down onto 01. 014, which is checked, flight level 200, which is also set in chat, QNHs for 993, which are in, water brakes RTO, flaps 5, and we are ready for takeoff. So takeoff checklist is complete. So follow all the way down to the end of Echo, then line up for 01. We've got the 014 checked, and just start switch to continuous. Anti-ice is on, packs auto, bleeds are on and checked. Flaps 5, which is down, center of gravity 533, which is set on the trim. LNAV VNAV's pre-armed. LNAV will come in after 400 feet, and that'll be us on the departure. Very quick, flight time's only around 40 minutes time. It's going to be a very tricky circle to land. There's going to be very short limitations on the left hand turn. It's a Cat A and B airport, so obviously the 737 is a Cat C, so it wouldn't be restricted to come into this airport, but we're going to take it in there just to see what we can do. Hey George, how's it going, my man? Hope you're doing well, pal. So slight bit of a taxi straight down, and then we'll spin around. But yeah, this is going to be it'll be quite a challenging one, I can tell you that, when we come in today. So it should be quite fun to see how close we have to run up the side of one of the verges of the mountain. So once we leave, our last fix from the minimums is going to be, I'll get everything up on the Navigraph, I've got it here on the iPad. So once we get to the India Sierra Mike 53, which is just before we enter into the valley, that's when we're going to disconnect off the autopilot, fly out manually, take a left hand turn into this tiny short little valley, and then run alongside as close as we can onto the right hand side. We've got elevation on the sides of 1,000 feet, which are going to run sideways up to around 2,000 feet. So we'll get as close as we can, and then it's going to be pretty short once we take that left hand turn, so there's not going to be a lot of room for error. So should be a really nice flight. It's got the Iceland Air livery as we are down here in Iceland. LNAV's going to come straight. It's going to be a direct straight. There's no SID departure on this route. It's going to be a straight out, climb straight ahead, down onto the 014, all the way to the Romeo Echo, which is the NDB. From the NDB we hitch Kumuk's, which is our initial approach fix, then we swing onto a left hand turn to fly inbound onto the approach from 3,000 feet down to 1,009. And then from 1,009 we'll then ride to our missed approach point, which is the India Sierra Mike 53. Then we take that left hand turn into the valley. So cabin crew, take your seats for departure as we are ready to fly. Once we get up in the air, then I'll get the Navigraph in and get the flight all loaded in, so show you some of the charts. Doing the RNAV Delta approach, coming in. Kumuk's will be for 4,006, hit that, and then the India Sierra India 51, which is our initial fix, that'll be 3,000 feet onto the 313. So we are all now set to go, ready for the departure. Got 3,054 meters of runway for runway 01. As we now come, we'll take every single bit of it. Got -5 using the engine anti-ice as well. As we come in. Okay, there's a whole short line. Let's just get ready to cross over. So strobes can now go on. Chart checked. Terrain around the area is 5,009 all the way up on our routing. Flight level 200 we're going to fly for today. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . takeoff climb of 2, which gives us on the speed, which is 88.9 N1, as we're leaving out around 57 tons today. So not very heavy, as we need quite a low landing speed for our VREV in order for us to fly this approach in on that left-hand turn nice and safely. So before takeoff checklist, auto brakes RTO, flaps 5 green light, LNAV VNAV is engaged, engine anti-ice switch is on, engine start switch continuous, packs auto bleeds are on, and we are ready now to leave. So we get our landing lights on 1 and 2, and we get ready to leave. So push forward on the column, power on up to around 50%. Check. And toga. Airspeed live.
3 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. 100 neutral. Very quick rotation today.
V1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Okay, LNAV's engaged. VNAV speed as we come through now. So 159 for V2 plus 20. As the aircraft's going to start to climb up now onto speed up. A little bit of truing. Hold down in with the flight director. Okay, which is checked. It can be up and off. Auto brake can be off as well. As we slowly climb up, not going to power down all the way on the control column. When we turn off lights, taxis, which are all off and checked. Yeah, it's coming up for a flaps 1 setting, speed check, flaps 1. As we leave out of a lovely Iceland. Okay, speed check, flaps up. Okay, Pmdg, which is in. As it's straight up now, all the way up to flight level 200. There's our top of climb, top of descent. The airport's not very far away at all. Once we leave out, going up for 25 now. As we leave lovely Iceland. Climb out off the departure. So after takeoff checklist, auto brakes are up, flaps are up, no lights, gears up and off, no lights. Engine start switch to continuous, leave the anti-ice on now as we are -5 anyway, all the way up. As we climb now through 5007, transition is going to be around 110 and come down for 7000 once we start the descent. So once we're ready and checked, already coming up, it's going to be quick as we come down. We get the forecast in, flight level 70 in for the trans. Coming from there, 200, 150. 100 and 5000. Okay, 100, 5000. Let's just change them quick. 200, 150. I'll just do 5. That'll do us for now. Leave that there, which is also checked. Coming up now, passing through 8008. A little bit of wind as we can see, just gusting around up to around 20 knots. It was around 18 when we left. Top of descent climb, we got 275 at 18. .309 at 17. And I'll get our approach winds once we do. Landing lights on off, which are checked. That's just climbing up to our climb speed of just over 300 knots. So we'll check the winds when we come down onto the arrival. Okay, so as usual, 0993 350 18, which is going to be as well. So 350 at 18, check that. Top of descent will come back once it's recalculated. And that is us all set and checked. So QNH 1013, which is checked. That is us now on our way to a lovely IXEG. So, never flown to this airport before. Hey Chris, good evening my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you had a great Christmas. So George, yeah, with the engine anti-ice, under 10 degrees the anti-ice should be turned on. Above 10 degrees it can be left off. Because obviously it was -5 leaving out on the departure, I decided to leave the anti-ice on for the takeoff, as obviously it's -5 in Keflavik. So, but every operator will have different procedures whether or not with the anti-ice, but usually under 10 degrees it'll be turned on. So if it was, say it was like 15 degrees taking off, once we're in climb out, whether then you can. I'm not sure, certain operators have different procedures, but that's just how I do it. As it is usually under 10 degrees the anti-ice will go on. With the wing anti-ice, I suppose that would be if there was any ice build up on the wing, etc. I would have imagined, but just for the engine anti-ice, that's what we do. So as we climb now for flight level 200, just near to our top of climb, and then things are going to get nice and rowdy. So I'm going to show you the routing that we've got here for the arrival into Biis. So let's clear this one. Let's just shove this in, manual input. Okay, Keflavik and Bravo India Sierra. Okay, so create that. So if we have a look, we can see on the Bravo India Sierra we've got the RMP Delta here. So it's literally going to hit for Cummix. Then once we hit down for Cummix, 1000 to go. Cummix is for 4006. We can run that and cross check it over on the legs page. So 4006, I want to make sure that the aircraft stays at 4600. I don't want it to be putting anything above. I want to stay at 4006. And then 3000 feet we want to be going in for the India Sierra India 151. So on here we can see that it's a Cat A and B arrival, the RMP Delta, so the RNAV Delta. Once we come through, you're welcome George, anytime pal. Let's just get the TRA on as well. There we go, which is checked. Top of climb's going to come in very quick. So as we are now level at flight level 200, so we're coming for Cummix down into 313. The NDB coming in for the Ream is 316, so we'll just light that off. Get 316 in as well. 316, switch that over. Get that down in on the ADF. Re should come in. See it on the RMI as well. So we come down for Ream, we hit 4006 for Cummix, which is our initial approach fix. The India Sierra into 51, which is our initial fix, coming in on 313. Once we get to the India Sierra Mike 53, which is our missed approach point, we're going to make a left-hand turn. This is obviously for the opposite side of the runway, but there is a 08. We're going to run down the left-hand side, the right-hand side of this valley. We've got 1000 feet, leading up to 2000 on the verge. And then we're going to swing in onto a hard left-hand turn, which should then get us in onto the runway. So it should be a very interesting approach. 55 to 6.5, so 56.3, which will get in for the arrival. 56.3, we'll take everything that we need here. We'll get flaps 40, 130, plus 5, checking the wind, which is 18, so we can plus 9 that. So that will give us our 139 on the arrival approach. Drop the speed back down, or the altitude onto the MCP, which will take back down for 3000. Which is checked. Seatbelt signs can be left on. So we're going to be coming back down literally right now. Now we can take a little look just over as we ride down in through the mountains. So engine start switches will leave there as we're literally going straight up and back down. Passing 10,000, we get the runway tunnel lights and everything all set in, and that'll be us all ready to go. So we can go and get the flight recorder system in as well. Okay, that'll pause for a few seconds, then come back. Forecast winds are all in. It's currently 18 knots down on the runway, so we're +9 that. It's -5 with dew point of -10, so visibility should be okay. Broken at 3,004, few at 2,000. So once we come down onto that approach, we're going to be leaving the approach down at around minimums is 500 feet. So 500 MDA for a 492 decision height. We've got 9 on the, it's 8 feet down on the airport's elevation. Okay, 500 which is set, just approaching now, top of descent point. As we come down to runway 8, we've got the hold in which is for Amkin, if we do need to go around, if it is quite tight. So Amkin is there with the hold once we come through, so we're rolled out. If we do need to go, there's Amkin, which is the initial approach fix for the opposite side coming through. So everything is all there for us as we make our approach down. So it's going to be a tight one, definitely going to be tight. It's not going to be, should be quite good though, because we're coming in on 139, so we're not coming in super fast. Glide path's only 1 degree, well that's leaving through, so 500 feet with India Sierra Mike, 5.3, that's going to be our minimums and the missed approach point. So drop it down to 500 as we're going to continue the descent down. Auto brake will be set for max. Aircraft's now slowly going to start to idle, powering back for its speed now for the descent. Before we hit the top of climb, we're ready to start to come down. 993, which will pre-arm. Okay, 993, which is set and cross-checked on either side. We've got them both linked. As we get ready to leave flight level 200, transition level is going to be 7,000 feet once we come through. -24 right now currently, and it's -5 down in the Bravo India Sierra. So it's going to be tight. First time I've flown this approach, first time I've flown to this airport. I see it floating about. There's the NDB that's come in for the Romeo Echo, which is right in front of us pretty much, on the 015 over on the navigational display, just bouncing around. There's descent, just passing through flight level 195. And just to give you guys a heads up exactly what's going to go on one more time before we come in on that approach. So for Biis, RMP Delta, so we're currently heading down to the Romeo Echo, which is just around here. Once we hit there, we'll take that left hand turn to 313 from 4006 to 3000, then to 1900 for the Foxtrot 52. Once we get to the Mike 53, that'll be at 500 feet. We disconnect, take a left hand turn into the valley, run alongside the verge of the mountain, and then swing a nice left hand turn into runway 08. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just power this back just a little. There we go. In case we have to do a go around, keep it nice and light so we can actually see nice things. Overhead now, just have to do this, just flick that back. Put it down. Okay, so passing through 17,003 for the approach checklist. We've got auto rate set for max, we've got VREV 40 plus 9, which is going to give us a 139 on the approach. Minimum set for 500 MDA, which will give us a 492 on the decision height. We've got 8 on the elevation. Wind's currently 18 knots coming in, which gives us our plus 9. Anything over 10 divided by 2, as long as it's like a headwind, which it kind of is on this approach. So as we come straight towards the mountains, all the mountains are sitting around 5,900 feet. We'll cross over into the water of the verge between the two sides, and they're going to be sitting around 2,200 feet. The max, the minimum height altitude for the Kumuks, if we was going to a hold there, would be 3,600, and the altitude around is around between 2,000 and 1,000 feet. Okay, so passing through 15,003, checking down on the descent. Flight path angle 3, vertical bearings 3.6 for 1,500 feet per minute, so just a little bit under the vertical deviation. As you see, it is a little bit choppy as we come down. We take a look outside. Then we'll go into that left-hand turn. We've got the Romeo Echo NDB, which is directly in front of us, which is our next fix, which is 30 nautical miles. It's down there, we can see the little blue line, which is right there too. As I say, the METARs coming in, let's just double check on the METARs for the weather. So 01015, so we've got a 9 in, that's fine. Scattered 2002, broken at 3000, -4, and 996 coming in on the QNH, passing transition 7000. So 996, which is checked. Required navigation performance, the actual navigation performance, so that's fine. And we can also go in. Everything here looks to be A-OK. 0.30, which is there as well, which is checked. 0.30. So 0.3 of a nautical mile we want it to be. It's only at 0.6. Engine anti-ice is going to be on for the whole descent down, so we'll have a higher idle N1 thrust coming in. As we pass through 11,005 now, engine anti-ice, which is fine. Landing lights, runway turn off lights, taxis can all go on. Ding the cabin, let them know that we are ready to come in. Practically going to be visual coming through, so we ain't going to need no courses, etc. The 08 bearing is going to be 76 on the track. Speed brake, which can be armed, just checked, green light. Okay, we're already in set to go. Kumus 4006. Okay, 3,000 to 1,900 feet and 500 we disconnect for 139. So once we make this left-hand turn, we'll drop down into our flaps 1, as we've got 240, then 235. VNAV path, which is in. As the speed tape now slowly start to slow itself down. 16 nautical miles. Then we drop in onto the 313 track. Pass through 9008. Or flight level 98. Terrain around is a maximum around 2,000 feet. See the wings going just a little bit. Speed's going to slow start dropping, holding 240. There's Kumux from the Romeo Echo, there's Kumux, so the NDB's right there. Then we pass through from Kumux. Hold patterns in as well to follow if need be. We can check that out as well once we come through. So we climb straight back up on the missed approach, we'll climb all the way back up for 4,000 feet. So it's definitely going to be tight. -10 now country as the temperature slowly starts to rise up. .230 on the speed. Kumux 240. The current track from Kumux to the missed approach point is currently around 10 nautical miles. Okay, QNH is going to be switched back over. Okay, reasonably for 4006. 2 nautical miles to go. Okay, so the speed intervention window 185. We'll drop flaps 5 now onto 250. Heading down onto 313. Okay, flaps 5, 160. There's a left hand turn now, so we're going to start that descent down. Flaps 15, gear down. So our entrance is just going to be over here. 500 feet minimums, which is our last fix, then we disconnect and ride in. So it gears down, 3 green. Auto brake set for max. Plus 3004. Straight over the icy lake. Okay, wind's currently coming in now just a little bit. Check. So I'll leave our speed at 150 now until we pass the next fix, which will be the India Sierra Foxtrot 1-2. Once we get to the 5-3, that's going to be our 500 foot minimums decision. Cinderella, how you doing, pal? Hope you're doing well, mate. So it's going to be a tight one as we come in, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to be 500 feet, actually all the way into that left hand turn. That's great, glad you're doing well, pal. We're doing great, thanks, hope you had a great Christmas. So 1.4 nautical miles now to go to the Foxtrot 5-2. Then we're going to slip into the valley, which is going to be just over to our left. So follow off, and then we'll take a left hand turn into here. Just imagine, and that'll be us all set and ready to come in. So we'll see what we can do. Obviously this aircraft wouldn't land here, it's a Cat A and B airport. But I did see someone trying to land the 737 here, so I thought we'd give it a shot and see exactly how we fare. So it should be interesting. Hey, perhaps 30. Which is checked, and flaps 40, which takes us on to our 139. So landing checklist, gears down 3 green, flaps 40, green light, auto brake set for max, engine start switch continuous, engine anti-ice switch is on, packs are auto, bleeds are on, and we are ready for the approach. Landing lights are all on, speed brake switch armed. 500 feet minimums, which is our last fix, and we're going to disconnect the aircraft, fly manually into the valley. So as you can see, we get very low. $1,000, which is checked. Okay, there's our minimums coming up before we take that left hand turn straight down into the valley right here, as we can see. Then we're going to fly visually. So coming here to our minimums, auto throttle and auto pilot is disconnected. and we'll now get the aircraft all set. Okay, flight directors can be turned off as well. So hold around 600 feet as we come in. So we're aiming for around that verge right there. As we can see, runway's going to be right round. There's a runway just peeking in. So we're holding. And we'll start the descent down.
Caution, terrain.
Okay, we know we've got terrain there.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a special approach, Chris. 100%, mate. This is definitely something special. We'll see what we do anyway. If we're going for a mist, we'll go back up to Amtrak's and we can try it again. Okay, let's bring our right down now. It's going to be very tight. Follow up against this mountain verge right here before we come in for that right approach. So there's runway right here. Runway's right here, which it should be. Sitting right there for us. Okay, there it is. Big old runway. Keep control of our speed as we come round. It's going to be very tight.
Caution, terrain.
Yep, caution terrain.
Terrain.
Let's bring it right down.
Caution, terrain.
It's going to be very, very tight.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Keep view.
Terrain, terrain.
We've got to follow all the way round.
Terrain, terrain. Pull
Okay.
up.
Let's go around.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. 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 Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
We're going to overshoot it a little bit.
Terrain, terrain. Pull
There
up.
it is.
Terrain, terrain.
Probably still
Pull
make
up.
it, but
Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
I will try again.
Terrain,
Okay, let's
terrain.
do it straight
Pull
up.
up.
About
Terrain,
15.
Terrain. Pull up.
Gear up.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Okay, all the throttle can go back in. Right's up to 220. Light director can go back on as well. Okay, flaps up. See how tight it is when going up onto that approach. It's very, very tight. No room for errors. We've got to go around in. Which will stay there. ONF can go in as well, which will bring us through. That'll take us back down to Amtrak for the hold, where we can try it again. So gap speed intervention in. That'll bring us back up. A196 up at 220. Okay, so there we go, we're now back in. That brings back through. Level change. Back up for 3000. Okay, level change. Okay. So as you can see, that is a very it's a very shifty approach. Definitely very shifty. So we need N1 up here. I don't know why the aircraft's slowing down for. We'll take that out. There we go. So, we'll go again. We'll see what it's saying. Yeah, definitely, mate. You know what I'm saying? Even I was thinking, nah, it's not going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be very. It's going to be touch and go, I think. That's what I would say right now. It's going to be very touch and go. So on for the heading. Get 313, there's the NDB for the Romeo Echo, which is in. Okay, get the auto throttle in, up to 7,000, we'll go for 10, then we'll change that off, we'll hold that. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Tell the cabin. So we've got Amtraks in, which will be for the holding point. So yeah, very tight, you see, very tight. Probably, hopefully we'll burn off a little bit more fuel when coming through, and that should be us. So there's the hold, which is coming in. The hold's going to be for 4,000, we just blew all the way straight back up. CMDA's in, there's 10,000, that's fine. Wait till we level off, go into the hold, and then we'll spin around. But yeah, very mischievous approach. Let's get the flaps 4 off, pull back, there we go, speed can go in now, that should be us. I thought the flaps are fully up for a second. Max speed for the hold as well, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at the hold, 203, okay, so we're going for 203. Okay, take it back down for 4,000. So we got up and back down again. 4,000 level change. Check our fuel as well. 2325, so that's going to be different now when we set it back. 48 to 4.6, which would be 0.2. That'll give us 55.4 on the approach. So that'll be 12948 or 138 when we come down. Let's get the approach in as well again. I have Delta for Emkin. Okay. 4,000 to 4,008. Okay. So it's going to be a very tricky one, I should imagine. We'll turn up the light just a little bit so it doesn't get too dark down here, so we can actually see. And there we go. That should be enough for the next approach. So we'll enter the hold, go back round and give it one more crack. Just see if we can come in. It's very tight. You can see why it's an A and B, it isn't a Cat C. Very tight. Get down very low, we'll cut in very tight this time. We'll go over 30 degrees bank. As long as we don't stall, that should be pretty good for us. So yeah, as you can see, crazy flight. So here's the hold now coming in. I think on that it's going to be left, right hand turn 023 back for the 023 inbound. It's fine, 4,000. Okay, oh no, just go back in. Okay, that'll bang us back. Okay, just send through 8,008. We'll give her one more crack, then we'll see what she can do. Gears up and off. Drop that down to 4,000 feet. Then we'll open up the flaps and get her back in for one last try. Wings are going absolutely crackers. So this is just one of them airports. We will get it done though, we'll get it down 100%. This next one, she's coming in. Now that I've actually had a crack at it, that's the first time actually going into that airport. I've seen it, seen a few videos, seen one trying to do it in the 737 simulator. And I see how tight they were actually turning it and how low they was. So we're going to do that one more time and then come down. So for 7,007, we'll drop that down. Keep flaps 1 just down, just give a tiny little bit of drag so it can hold the speed. That should give us a little bit more on the descent rate. As we now come back for 4,000 feet. Then from AMS 4,008 above, so we've got the hold in at 4,000, and then we're going to ride it through. 2,000 feet is over on the terrain anyway, so that's fine. So I'm going to put 4,000 there. Okay, 3,000 should be then back on track for the RNAV, which it needs to be, then back for 1,900, then 500 back for the approach. Okay, so Anakin can go in once we leave out the approach. Then once we leave the hold, that should be us. So transition now back to 996. Okay, just checked. Okay. From Ankin, which is 023, riding it in. We can leave the hold now. Okay, exit armed. Okay, 4003, VNAV should be good to come back in. Come down for 500 on the minimums. Okay. VNAV out. VNAV pass back. Okay, we've got the decel coming in too. 2500 was just checked as well. Okay. 4,000 to 3,000. Then we'll come in and try one more time. So when we come on this left hand turn next, when we come in to do the visual again, we're going to literally chuck her in over 30 degrees. We're going to get bank angle warning, etc. We're going to really chuck her in. As long as we maintain it from our stall speed, we should be okay to come through. Flaps 1, which is in, which is just to give us a little bit of drag. So 2-3 track. Okay, decel is going to be there. Decel will be with a 193 passing. Auto brakes are armed. To max. Speed brakes are armed, green light. 313 left hand turn. Then we'll go back on that descent again. Minimum set, MCP altitude for 500 feet, which is in as well. Okay, flaps 5. 313. As we descend now. Perhaps 15 gear down brings down to 150 on our speed. She's going approach speed ramp. She's going to be +5, so 129 plus 9. There we go, 138. So let's see what happens. If it was in the 700, probably would have got away with it a lot more easier. Also with the 800, it's going to be a higher landing weight as well. So she's passing 1900 feet now for the India Sierra Foxtrot 52. Four and a half nautical miles to go. Flaps 30 and flaps 40, which will be 138.
$1,000.
1,000 checked. Okay, so here we go. Disconnect the auto throttle and auto pilot. And there she is, just over there. Okay, so autopilot and auto throttle is disconnected. I have control of the aircraft. I'll speed up. In range.
Caution, terrain.
Check.
approaching minimums. Caution, terrain.
Okay, so there's the runway.
Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Caution, terrain. Minimums.
Continue.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Okay, let's do
Terrain,
it.
terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain,
There's the
terrain.
runway.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain.
Coming a bit
Pull
sideways.
up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull
Cool.
up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Bank angle.
Still overdone it, do you know what I'm going to do? Try one more time.
Terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain.
What I'm going to do is just
pull
spin her in, get her
terrain,
down.
Terrain, pull up. Terrain, terrain.
Okay, back to
pull
400.
up. Terrain,
We'll give her one more try.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Bank angle.
Yeah, we've got the bang angle.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain, terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Okay, there's our 500 feet.
Terrain.
Try one more time.
Caution, terrain.
And go a little bit further out this time. Outspeed right down.
Terrain. Caution, terrain. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Okay, there's our speed.
Terrain. Pull up. Terrain,
Right, cut her
terrain.
now.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. 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 Pull up. Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Jesus Christ. There we go, manual braking. I told you we'd get it down. Just in time. Speed brakes can be retracted. Didn't even have time to get the reversers out on that one. We'll turn the aircraft round. We'll have a look at what the replay was saying. So it's quite tight here as well. So there we are. We ain't doing this one again, that's for sure. Definitely, we'll leave it to the Cat A and Bs for that one, most definitely. Because Cat Cs are definitely not the way for this one. Definitely 100%. So we'll get the flaps fully back in, go down to stand, and we'll have a look. Good job we had that max auto brake right there for us. Yeah, thanks George. Yeah, we got there just in time. Just in time. Haven't flown to this airport ever. I don't think we ever would with this aircraft, but I thought we'd give it a crack, see what we can do with it. Got the flight replay as well, so we can also check that and see how crazy it was. Stopped just near the end. How mad was that? I had to give it a slam, had to give it a Ryanair down. Otherwise, we definitely wouldn't have come to a stop where we did. So we'll go down to the end of stand, we'll park her up, we'll check out the flight replay, and we'll see what she's done. But yeah, we got her down, definitely. Passengers are probably a little bit bumped, but I don't think they would have minded, seeing as they did get down on the ground. I bet they can't wait to get off. They're probably never going to fly with Iceland Air again. I can guarantee you that. on that second attempt I wasn't going to go all the way around into a hold. I thought we'd just spin around one more time. So you get alerts and everything on this approach. Keeps you alert, eh? So ride into this tiny little ramp, and then we'll check out the replay system and see what happens. It will be a slammer though, 100% it will be a slammer. Up the hill we go, take up the whole ramp area. Okay, there's a control tower. Bet they thought we was going to go straight into them. We'll park her up right here. Okay, so we'll hold it there. We'll get the flight replay system up and loaded. Then we can check out the horrendous approach into Bravo India Sierra. Wasn't one of my finest moments, but we lined her up and got her in. So let's see what happens. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay. So we'll load that up, we'll get the outside view in as well, and then we can have a little look and see what we did, see what the damage was. We'll have a look at the back angle as well from when we came in. So we'll get it in right on this last one where we came through and got it right in. So let's have a look at this. Let's get onto the runway. So we'll just have a look. Look at that bank. Wow. Okay, so let's go outside. Let's get that all in. Get that back off of the throttles. Okay. So let's have a look and see what happens, shall we? But yeah, what a mad approach. It's probably one of the sketchiest ones that I've flown. Definitely. Let's get this light up. See, it's very dark around here as well. As we're right up the top. So let's have a look. So here she is, the arrival into 08, the circle to land. The craziest approach that I've done on the channel to date. Look at that bank, wow. We'll have a look at both angles as well. So when we came in, obviously we'll have a look at the first one when we come in, and then we'll see it swing around for the second. So here we go, this was the last missed approach before we just spun it straight around. Yeah, again for 08. But yeah, if you're going to come to Bravo India Sierra, don't bother bringing a 737-800. so, there's the first one coming in. Straight back up.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Get the flaps back in, get the speed brakes armed, they'll fly out. So here's the actual original landing to 08. Here we go, here's that left hand turn. I had to smash the landing gears off. There was no choice in that one. And there we are on the arrival. So we'll take a look from the back end of what that looked like from the back. We'll have a look, see what the back looked like. But yeah, that was some smash alright. We can see coming in from the back. Landing gear was gone. Definitely a Ryanair, 1,000,000%. Didn't even have time to open up the reverses, that's how mad it was. But there we are guys, down in the Bravo India Sierra. Hope you guys did enjoy the flight. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're back to our real work flights tomorrow. And join me tomorrow for our next normal flights here in the 737-800, Airbus A320 Phoenix, and our A310, which is supplied by Addons. So stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye. Yeah, you too, George. See you soon, pal. Yeah, definitely. Tom Condon's definitely easy. Definitely compared to this. Jesus. I might actually go there tomorrow. Might actually go there. So I'll see you soon, my friends. Stay safe. Bye-bye, mate.